The David Pakman Show at davidpakman.com.
The best way to support The David Pakman Show is a David Pakman Show membership. Go to davidpakman.com/membership to sign up today. Louis, we're talking about pennies a day. Big help to the show.
Yeah, big help. That's how we do things like move cameras around in between breaks.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
There is a really interesting article in the New York Times about a rising star in Hungary's far-right Jobbik party. His name is Csanad Szegedi. He was notorious for his very aggressive comments about Jews. He accused Jews of buying up the country. He went on and on about the Jewishness of the political elite, and he claimed Jews were desecrating national symbols, etc., etc. Then it turned out that Szegedi himself is a Jew.
Imagine that.
Yeah, incredible.
You know, I bet you if people looked into their genealogy more often,
yeah,
there would be many
There would be
occurrences
tons
like
of racist, of anti-black people who have black heritage. There would be plenty of anti-Semites who have Jewish heritage. There's no question about it.
And somehow I don't think it would slow them down.
No. Well, following weeks of internet rumors, Szegedi finally acknowledged in June that his grandparents on his mother's side were Jewish, and that makes him also Jewish under Jewish law, even though he doesn't, of course, practice the faith. He criticizes it. His grandmother not only was Jewish, but was an Auschwitz survivor, and his grandfather was a veteran of forced labor camps. Now, since then, the 30-year-old has become kind of a pariah in the Jobbik party, and his political career is on the brink of completely collapsing. He didn't participate in the New York Times story. Clearly, he is troubled at this point.
Yeah. I mean, I would imagine a revelation like that would be devastating to someone who has been preaching anti-Semitic stuff his whole life.
There's actually a recording of when someone confronts him with evidence of his Jewish roots, and he first sounds surprised, and then he actually offers money and favors in exchange for keeping this completely under wraps. Can you imagine?
Wow. Crazy.
Now, he resigned last month from all of the Jobbik party positions. He gave up his membership. That wasn't good enough for the Jobbik party. Last week, they asked him to give up his seat in the European Parliament as well. And Jobbik says that the issue is not that this guy is Jewish, it's that he tried to bribe the guy who told him about his Jewish roots into not saying anything. Right, why would a far-right party care about someone they thought was a white supremacist actually being Jewish? Oh, wait a second, that's kind of like what they do.
Well, I mean, at least the bribing does seem like a legitimate reason.
It does.
So I guess, you know, we can't say with certitude that it's because he has Jewish heritage.
He actually went on to try and deny that he had ever made anti-Semitic statements, but there's so many of them that are on the record. On Hungarian state television back in 2010, he blamed privatization of assets after the end of communist on people in the Hungarian political elite who shielded themselves in their Jewishness. That doesn't sound like a typical anti-Semitic conspiracy, does it?
Not at all, Dave.
There's a number of other ones, too, which I won't even have to go into. He talks about massive real estate purchases being done in order to set up places for Israeli residents to move to.
So anyway, this story has a happy ending.
It does have, well, I don't know, does it? What is the happy ending?
The happy ending is that this man finds out he has, or maybe he knew it all along, Jewish family members, everyone finds out, he loses his position and is miserable for eternity.
Well, that's the interesting thing. He actually did end up meeting with a rabbi, and the rabbi said, you know, it's a complicated situation, but as a rabbi, it is my duty to receive anyone who's in a situation of crisis, especially anyone who is Jewish and is now actually facing their heritage. And during the meeting, Szegedi actually apologized for the statements that he made, which may have offended Jews, and he vowed to visit concentration camps to pay his respects. And I feel mixed about this because on the one hand, it's great that he's making those changes, but on the other hand, it's not really a guy who otherwise really would care. It's just that he's now part of the group. Otherwise, he would be perfectly fine ridiculing and criticizing an ethnic and religious group.
Right. But who knows? Maybe this will turn him around and he'll start doing good things for the world.
Maybe so.